Hey, how's it going? Jose here, aka Repugnant Man, and today we're going to be doing a book and film discussion on The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, being the first part of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So we're going to be discussing it, seeing how they compare, the book and the movie compare, major differences, which I like better, and we'll give a score at the end, so stay tuned. Alright guys, for those of you who don't know what the book or the movie is about, I'm going to leave a link in the description to the Wikipedia page so you can learn a little bit more about the background of The Lord of the Rings. And just a disclaimer, I am going to be going over some spoilers that happen in the book and the movie, so if you haven't watched them yet, go watch it, then come back. Alright guys, I want to start it off by looking at the book first. This is a thick book. We got 500 pages right here. Will take you a while to read, especially if you're not an avid reader. I'm going to go quick through this right here. The prose. The lore is really good. It's a lot to take in at times, but if you have the Lord of the Rings wiki page open, you can help yourself there and look stuff up. It's an epic story. J.R.R. Tolkien popularized high fantasy. It was one of the first to popularize it with this trilogy, and that alone merits a read. Another pro in this book is there's a great cast of characters. I specifically really like the relationship between Gimli and Legolas. Now we're going to look at the cons. What I didn't like about the book is it was really slow pace. I mean, this is a huge book, and it goes at a tremendously slow pace. On top of that, there's a lack of action. It's setting up everything for the rest of the two books to go off of, and it does lack some action because of that, I think. There is also a lackluster climax. Like, by the time the book ended, I couldn't believe it because nothing really eventful even happened. So that's my take on the book, but let's take a look at the movie. Alright, so let's talk about the movie, directed by Peter Jackson. So this movie, it realizes the characters in the world better than I could ever have imagined just by reading it. I think it's done so well. It's literally the gold standard for high fantasy in movies that I can think of. And it still holds up today, even though it's, like a few decades old now. The practical effects are really good to make, the hobbits look smaller than the humans. That looks awesome. And so does the scenery in the world. The casting for the movie is perfect. The music in the movie is just incredible. The score is amazing. The music is top notch. And it's pretty much play for play like the book, the movie is, except that there's just way more action. Like, for example, in Moria, when they're in this cave area, before they get in Moria, they actually battle this giant octopus squid thing. And it's like a fully realized fight scene in the movie. However, in the book, they just close the door on it and there's no fight scene that occurs. The movie also adds this boss orc guy, and he kind of acts as like an antagonist for the first book. He's like a boss monster, and that the book doesn't have. This gives the movie an edge because you have an epic fight scene at the end between Aragorn and this boss orc, and you have Boromir fighting and redeeming himself for trying to take the ring from Frodo. That's added actually at the end of the movie, but that's not at the end of the book. And the book doesn't have that. It doesn't have that battle. It doesn't have Boromir dying. Aragorn doesn't slay this boss orc. Instead, Frodo just saves Sam at the end of the book and leaves with him to Mordor. There's no actual climax in the book. It's actually kind of lame. So Boromir doesn't die at the end of the first book. He actually dies at the beginning of the second book. So yeah, the end of the book is not so great. With that said, I would say that the movie is top tier, and I recommend it for moviegoers, movie lovers, anyone who likes movies. You should watch The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. It's amazing, and you'll definitely want to watch the second and third one. Now, I've started The Two Towers already. I can say it's a lot better, for me, in my opinion, than this first book, because this one's just a little too slow, lack of action. The second one already has more action, a lot more lore that's vibing with me a lot harder. So I would say I would give the book 3.5 to 4 stars just on the merit of being one of the first of its kind. I want to say for me it's a 3 though, 3 out of 5, and the movie is just without a doubt a 5 out of 5. So guys, thanks for watching this video. If you have seen the book or the movie, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Which one's your favorite out of the trilogy? And yeah, if you guys can like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks and have a great day. Bye-bye.